Now, ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, this is going to be more so of a warning to new players, collectors, and investors inside of CSGO in 2022. Mainly if it's now a good time to start investing in because of everything that's going on in the world. Are your skins going to crash? Is this game going to die? Are they going to make an update that possibly crashes skins or makes them not tradable in the future? Now in today's video, we're going to be talking about examples of bad investments, what not to invest in for a quick flip, cash out methods, examples of market manipulations and pump and dumps, and talking about what you can and can't afford, especially to lose inside of CS. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as like the video. It's much appreciated, ladies and gentlemen. So the first thing I really want to discuss is what not to invest in inside of CS and things I've learned from my mistakes in the past 5 or 6 years of collecting CSGO skins and investing in them specifically. I've been a player for almost a little over 10 years at this point in time, right before CSGO came out. So I've learned my mistakes, and I've also learned some good things throughout the process as well. So one of the first things I want to talk about is, of course, sticker crafts. And what I mean by this is applying stickers yourself or buying a sticker craft as an investment or possibly a skin just as a play skin, but it's actually pretty pricey. And a good example of this, for an example, we're going to go on buff.163 here, and we're going to take a look at an AK-47 blue laminate field tested. So what it has on this specifically is, of course, 3 Dignitas paper stickers from 2014. Now these stickers are specifically $380 to almost $400 on buff, and in North America and Europe on those websites specifically, they're going to be a little more, so towards the $400 to $500, $600 range, because there's not a whole lot in existence anymore. Well, since these stickers are really expensive and this weapon skin is very cheap, it's going to cause the price of the skin to go down quite a bit. And a lot of people, since they like these stickers, or if they're maybe just interested in them, they want an older craft inside CS, they're going to be like, oh, this is actually a pretty good AK to buy. So this is $158 right now on the market, and that's pretty expensive considering this is on buff specifically, and this skin is about $5. And obviously when you have a sticker craft, it takes a percentage of the stickers, especially with the weapon. You have to keep that into effect and do account of how much the gun and weapon is actually going to be placed at on the marketplace. So the problem with people and myself buying these, for an example, at $158 is the resale value. It's going to be absolutely horrible. Sure, it's looking like a pretty good deal as of right now, and I've learned this from the previous mistakes that I've made. So for an example, if there's a very cheap skin that has a really good Kato skin on it, like a holo specifically, maybe it's not the best holo in the world, like Fnatic holos are not really considered to be holos. A lot of players, collectors, and investors because they look horrible. Not a whole lot of people want them because they don't want to pay the price for them because they don't look that great for the price. So instead of selling it for 158 bucks, I mean, sure, you might be able to get that money back in the matter of just a few months, but you're probably going to be waiting a few months, right? So you're probably going to have to undercut it if you need to sell your skins right away and move out. That's something I've learned in the past. And it's just going to be really hard and impossible to sell something like that in the future without taking some sort of price cut. And especially applying stickers yourself, unless they're newer stickers, like for an example, a great one right now is Stockholm. So if you want to make a lot of sticker crafts inside of CS, like I have myself recently, I've created pretty much an entire inventory based off of Copenhagen Flames. Like they're a really good and cheap sticker right now. And these could rise up in value in the future, but if they don't, I don't care. They just look really nice compared to the older stickers where they're so expensive, and it's like, do you really want to pay that for those specific items? Like these stickers cost about $3 right now, $2.80 on a place like Buff. So crafting these is not that expensive, and this is kind of what happened with older Kato stickers and Kato crafts back in the day. Why you see all these Kato crafts on really crappy guns? Well, there wasn't a whole lot of weapon skins in the game back then, and these stickers weren't ever more than like $3 or $4. So people were applying them to weapons like the Nitro, the stainless steel, things like the P250 Franklin. That's why I got these and this skin specifically for a very good price. But if you do a craft like this, it's a little better in my personal opinion. It's a possible stonk investment, but once again, you are losing value either way if these stickers go up in the future, because when you place a sticker on a gun, it automatically devalues it quite a bit rather than just having the sticker altogether. Now talking about skins once again as well, buying skins or knives specifically that look like they're a really good deal because they're a souvenir or stat track. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen people talk about buying a knife specifically as an investment. I would like to say a knife investment inside of Counter-Strike is probably the worst investment you could possibly make, unless it's over, I would say, $2,000 or $3,000 in the game as of right now. Especially if you're talking pure money perspective in the game, it's probably the worst of anything, literally. And the main reason behind that is, once again, knives aren't something that everyone can afford to use and buy specifically and also unbox. I mean, unboxing things, the reason cases are so expensive and things move up and down so much with those is because they are affordable to the average person, an average player in CS. You know, the Danger Zone case right now is 7 cents. If you sit on that for 5 years, you could make some money possibly. Buying a $2,000 or $3,000 knife right now isn't for everybody, and it's not even guaranteed profit. And I see a lot of options on the market sometimes where a stat track item is very, let's just say cheaper possibly at one given point in time than the actual base version. A lot of that is because it actually looks like it has wear on it. So if you see something like a ultraviolet, for an example, you'll see the price for obviously stat track is $329 versus $302 for field tested regular. And sometimes you'll see these actually lower on par with the regular field tested one, and sometimes you won't see them get sold. And that's due to the fact that it looks like it has wear on it, so that could be something as well. And the resale on those is really, really bad, and it's kind of the same thing as the sticker craft. They are worth that much, but they're going to take a long time to sell. So if you need to cash out quick, it's not the way to go about things, in my personal opinion, and with experience as well. Now we're gonna go forward now with the pump and dump side of things and how to know if something is getting pumped and dumped. So for an example, the crappy cases inside of CS, when these are getting pumped and dumped, you know, according to some people on YouTube, the CS20 case is going to hit $1. I don't know what's going on with that. We have things like the Prisma, right? These things have gotten hyped up quite a bit in the past year or two. Same with Danger Zone. I mean, these things are 7 cents right now, and there's over 1 million quantity in the market. But we're gonna go into the Prisma 2 right now. People have talked about investing into these recently, which is just absolutely crazy. And a lot of the time when these get hyped up on YouTube, or for an example, the most recent, I would say, example of this is the Danger Zone case. You know, when you have a handful of people on YouTube talking about one specific item all the time, especially a case that's just gotten removed where everyone's like, oh, this is complete stocks, I'm gonna make so much money on this in the future, and it's 7 cents, and there's people never decide to look at the quantity, which is over 1 million on the market and the skins inside it. It's just absolutely horrible. Sometimes you have to take a step back, and how you can see if this is a pump and dump, see if people are talking about it on YouTube or the internet, if there's any sketchy stuff going on, or there's only a few sold at one specific time during the day. And if YouTubers are talking about it, did they get a lot of views? Do people actually comment on the video saying they actually bought this stuff, or what? Because I know there was a lot of people talking about the Danger Zone case when it came out as a good investment, or got removed from the primary job pool, and this thing went up to almost 14 cents at one given point in time, which is just stupid. Why would you invest in something that was 3 cents a week ago that is now 14 cents? It's obviously not going to go that much up from there specifically, because it already has 1 million quantity in the market. That's just an example, if you guys get what I'm saying. So that's kind of how you can know if something is getting pump and dumped. Not necessarily pump and dump, but more so in the market manipulation, or if something has reached their all-time high. You look at the recent all-time highs, I would say in the past 6 months, and you take those if they have like an actual growth rate to them. So let's just say 1 month it hits $100, it drops back down $80, but the next time it goes up, goes to 120. It goes little increases over the course of a little period in time. But if that's not the case and just randomly goes up, that doesn't always look that great. Actual examples of market manipulation or pump and dumps are, and we also see this with the R8 Blaze a little while ago, where it reached over $3, which was just absolutely crazy, because we had a pro player compare this to the Desert Eagle Blaze, which it has no correlation whatsoever, because the Desert Eagle Blaze is one a time where not a lot of people played Counter-Strike and unboxed things in the game, and the rarity of it is just so much better than obviously the rarity of something like the R8 Blaze, where the R8 is not even a main weapon in the game. And obviously, of course, that dropped back down to under $1 after that. So if an item is getting hyped up quite a bit, and there's endless supply, and it actually goes up a little bit, it's mostly market manipulation, or just for whatever reason it explodes. Now this is kind of coming to the end of the video, the closing end of things, and we're going to be talking about not investing, and specifically, don't invest what you can't afford to lose. And even then, especially at a time like this, we don't know what's going to be happening in the world in the next few years. On top of that, CS is a very volatile game, and at the end of the day, Valve does not care about investors. They do not care about people investing into the game. All they care about is their income and if it's going up or not when people are buying cases. And that's what the average person does. The average person doesn't invest inside of CS. This game isn't meant for investing. It's more so meant for the consumer and players of the game to buy cases, buy skins, and buy knives on the Steam market. That's what most people do. One update can literally change everything. You take a look at the 7-day trade hold. What's stopping them from extending that to, let's just say, 30 days in the future, or 100 days, because of the gambling situation, for an example, inside of CS, which is growing to be worse and worse every single year. And I've talked about this so much. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. To sum things up very quickly, gambling on CS is really, really sketchy. There's a lot of scummy websites, especially on the case opening website sort of things. I mean, there's a few that aren't horrible, but there was one specifically, I think it was like Keydrop a few years ago, and I did a video on this, one of the first ones on the channel, where Despicable Me characters for Valentine's Day for a advertisement were holding CSGO skins, and that was literally just going after children, which was just absolutely horrible. And that does not look good on Valve or Counter-Strike specifically. So, you know, something got out or something bad happened, well, they would have to do something about it most likely. And I'm probably going to make a video on this topic right now, specifically on its own. maybe a short sort of video where, what if you're invested in CS right now and you have a couple $1,000s or a few $100s, I'd probably say the average person that watches my videos anyway that does, and you're worried prices are going to drop because of the world problems that are going on. Like, the whole world right now is on the brink, in my opinion, of economic collapse. And, you know, there's a war going on, there's a pandemic going on in most places in the world. World leaders are not getting along. People are just not getting along, and things are not going well, very great for a lot of people. Instead of investing what you can afford to lose, I would do half of what you can afford to lose. That just makes things easier for yourself. So if you do lose, you only lose half of what you were expecting to lose in the first place. And if you're really, really worried about things, this is probably more so a panic thing, then cash out. Cash out the things that are going to be hard to sell. Like, for an example, if you don't think you're going to be playing CS in a few years and you're really uncertain about everything, sell your investments like the danger zone case is now. Obviously, you're going to take some sort of loss, and that's going to be something you're going to take a loss on. You're going to have to accept it and move on from that. Sell things like sticker crafts that are going to be really hard to sell on the brink of economic collapse when people are selling everything, you know, at one given point in time. If that were to happen, your sticker craft, for an example that we used at the beginning of the video, like on a blue laminate, is going to be very difficult to sell in the future. And lastly, to end things off in this video, don't invest if you're just going to cash out a month later from the actual initial investment. Even if you made some money, it's not really worth it, especially if you're selling for cash. In cash trading and selling, you automatically lose at least, the very least, 15% on your items. You have to account for transaction fees, selling fees, and the website fees specifically. And if you guys want the best fees and biggest marketplace in Counter-Strike Global Offensive in North America and Europe, you come to the right place for today's video sponsor, Skinport. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Skinport is the biggest buying and selling marketplace for Counter-Strike Global Offensive skins in North America and Europe. What sets this apart from every other website, it has a very highly in-depth inspect feature on the website, which is very nice. And if you take our example from the beginning of the video, like the blue laminate for an example, and you put this on a place like Skinport, it is most likely going to be sold a lot quicker than any other North American and European website, which is very, very nice. And if you sell anything over $1,000, it's only a 6% sales fee, and once you do sell anything, specifically goes to your bank directly via bank transfer, which is very, very awesome. Now, if you guys are interested in helping me out and supporting the channel, that's pretty much kept this channel alive all this time, check the link down in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed this type of commentary in today's in-depth video, the do's and don'ts investing and the current situations on CSGO. If you guys want to see more videos on this specifically in the future, or topics like this maybe, or we go into a topic from this video into its own video where it has more room to talk about things, let me know down in the comment section. Love to hear what you guys think. Are you guys investing into things right now? Are you guys cashing out? Love to hear what you guys are doing. Have a good day, guys. Stay positive, stay sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.